So, this is Randall Holden. I'm gonna explain to you what a hellhole this was for me, and maybe if you, I don't know, just me, because I felt like I was the only black one here. So, I entered this school probably late 97. I was here because the school was overpopulated, so I had to go to another school down in Ward. And that's where it all started. So, as you all know, I was raised as a loving Christian. And so I told one of my classmates Santa Claus was their parents. So you know what? My fat lard, I don't even know her name. She was blonde, looked like an Oompa Loompa. She pulled me aside, and she grabbed my face, started pinching my lips, just like this. No word of a lie. I talked to my mother about it too. And so she started pinching my lips and all this, mad hard. I started crying because, you know, that's what I do best, is cry. And she says, don't you ever tell my kids there's no such thing as Santa Claus? But I'm like, I ain't lying. And then she pinched me harder. So, 4th grade, named Mr. Richatelli, pedophile. I'm speaking facts here. This is a confession, car ride confession. I was young. I didn't know any better. He would start massaging my shoulder like this. And I'd be like, okay, he's showing love. I didn't know what kind of love he was showing until later on. He started showing more love. It's not what you think that kind of love, though. So he massaged the shoulders a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's fine. A little weird. But I didn't say nothing because I thought teachers weren't supposed to do stuff like this. So, and then he would get a little more comfortable. He'd rub a nigga's thigh. And I'm like, okay, that could still be okay? I'm not sure. So he kind of made me feel uncomfortable. I'd walk out, go to the bathroom or something. But you know what always was so weird? That he would always go in the boys' bathroom knowing that the staff had their own bathroom. It's the kicker. So maybe a few months later, cops at the school, and we see Mr. Richatelli. It's all in the newspapers. I guess he was a pedophile, touching kids. I couldn't tell my dad because my dad probably would have killed him, but I didn't do that. So on to the 5th grade. A month into 5th grade, I got suspended for peeing on the wall. And I never forgot my bully. His name was Mike. He's a scumbag now. I always bust him in ball later on in life. But yeah, so I had to pay him not to tell on the principal. I was paying him like $1 a day for like a week until I couldn't afford it no more. This is real life. This is no bullshit. His name was Mike. So he used to pick on me. He would beat me up, not like really bad, but he would push me when I was walking home, stuff like that. He's a prick. Until I had Marcel come down. That's my older brother. I thank you for that. He says, you touch my brother again, I'm going to knock you out, which I really appreciate it, Marcel. Much love to you. So that stopped immediately because, you know, you don't want all my other older brothers coming down and knocking you out. So that's that for the 5th grade. But then I had this other kid. His name is David. Yeah, they called me in the principal. As soon as I get in school, I didn't even get time to drink my juice or whatever before because I like to drink my juice when I got to school. And they were like, Jarrell Edmonds, please come to the principal's office. Like, Jesus Christ, what did I do now? So they come, and we're like, I heard you saying stuff about this boy's mom. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even know what some of that stuff means. And these teachers in principal had the nerve to say, you don't have to lie. Now me, I already started crying because they thought I was a liar and I said this because I realized I was an innocent child until I started going older. Okay, I was really innocent. This is no word of a lie. I was an innocent kid. And then, so they make me cry. I'm feeling bad. And then they started making me believe like I did, but I know I didn't. And then the next day, I get in school. I'm going down to the principal's office again. And now he's saying I said something racist about his mom, which I didn't even know what racism was back then. So he said I said something about him. And they say, all right, Drew, we had it with your little antics and all this BS and all that. So we're going to take your recess away for the year. So all my kids out there know how important recess is. After you eat lunch, you gotta get loose, get wild, start running off those calories you just earned from eating those gross chicken patties at lunchtime. So yeah, that was that. I got benched for a year, on to the 6th grade. Same thing happened. Same kid. And if you can imagine how horrible that is for a kid, like, I was locked up in kiddie jail for doing nothing. And that's when I started acting up, was when I got out to 6th grade, because I was so frustrated with all the BS that these people did. Oh, you know what? I didn't tell you about the first time I ever got called a nigga. 2nd grade. He called me that. And I was appalled because I'm thinking, I'm like, what the hell is a nigga? So I was in the lunch line. I asked the teacher, I'm like, what does nigga mean? She looked at me, jaw drop. She's like, what did you just say? I'm like, what does a nigga mean? She's like, who called you that? I'm like, this kid behind me. Sent it to the principal's office. So I didn't know what that was. I came home, asked my father the next day. It means a derogatory statement towards black people. And he said it's bad and it shouldn't be used. And let me remind you, my dad's from the 50s, early 50s, where he heard it the worst of the worst times. And it really messed me up as a kid that people really treated black people like this. And I didn't even know I was black. I was light skinned. I have a little white in me, okay? So I'm half white. I'm part of you. But that doesn't mean you should treat me different from others, you feel me? So, Miss Adams, she pulls me aside and she tells me I'm not going to be anything when I grow up. I'm going to be a thug. I'm going to be another statistic. I'm going to go to jail. Hey, guess what, sweetheart? None of that happened. I had no love as a kid, like none whatsoever. Everybody used to tease me. It's a ridiculous world we live in, man. Especially growing up in the 90s. I don't know if it was because I'm black, but I did get jumped in middle school. I don't know why. I got held on to and they started hitting me in my face. Went home with a black guy. I was bullied. Long story short, I was bullied as a kid. But to all my youngsters out there that are getting bullied, man, don't stand for that. Like my dad once told me, but I was always scared to fit somebody. Pop them once like a balloon, they won't come back. I mean, violence really isn't the answer. Sometimes it has to be. You gotta swing on somebody to know you're not a joke or a punk. But just do you. Don't worry about what people say or how they treat you, because it's all the world full of love, you know. Some days you don't know what's going on with other people's life, but that doesn't mean give you a right to them to bully you, you know. Stay strong.